We are back with another episode of From the Rafters. Sam and I are here recording on Monday, March 14th. Happy Pi Day, Sam. 314.
Oh, happy Pi Day. Our producer Matt for our new newscast about everyone mini pies.
I thought you were going to say our producer. I was like, I'm the producer. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. No, at work, he brought everyone mini pies out of spite, which is a long story, but
out of spite.
Out of spite, yes.
Okay.
But he did it nonetheless, and we had them.
Yummy. What pie did you get?
I had a blueberry pie. Not a big pie person, to be honest with you. If I'm going to have a dessert, I really prefer like cookies or ice cream. That's probably like cake's all right, depending on what you get. But and brownies rule. But I could kill brownies all day. Cookies and ice cream.
Ice cream, I think, is the way. Or like an ice cream bar, like one of those things.
Oh no, you what you do is you get the pint of Ben and Jerry's and you eat the whole thing.
I do that. Yeah, I do that too. Yeah, that's good. That was a college staple.
I almost don't do that anymore. Like I get like a hangover from it. I don't like doing it. Like I feel like trash. I just say it's not worth it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Anyways, we can get right in. There's plenty of Celtic stuff to talk about. You want to start with the game or Kevin Garnett?
Let's do KG first.
All right. Well, I'm going to start off by saying I didn't get the chance to watch the whole thing as closely. I went to dinner with some friends. Just timing. It was either miss the game or miss the ceremony, which I know.
Jack. Oh my God.
Wow.
Jesus
all right.
Christ.
Just starting off hot here.
That is the first time I've ever I guess I really should never have done it, but I mean, I've never.
I get called Jake all the time. My cousin's name is Jake, so
I can't believe I just did that. That's like really bad. Wild. I'm so sorry, Jack.
Anyways, of course, I caught the highlights and know what went down. It was an amazing moment. I saw KG crying when his, brought his number up to the Rafters. You were there though, so first-hand experience, and I assume you stayed through the whole thing.
Of course, I did. I shelled out the big bucks. We got there, so I'll just talk about the day first, I guess. Then we can go into details. Whatever. We show up leave my house 11:30. Get there at like 12:45, 1 o'clock. Go get halftime pizzas. We talked about with Timmy G. That is the pregame spot. You go over there, get yourself some slices, and then I personally go in. Timmy G likes going to the world's greatest bar. We go in. We take pictures at the steps that were done up for KG.
You're on Celtics Twitter, kind of.
I was, yeah. So the Celtics. So these three dudes came. So I had taken a picture on the steps. My boy Tyler had taken a picture on the steps. These three dudes come up to us. Hey, can you do us a favor? Like take a picture of us? Yeah, we're like, yeah. And then we were like, obviously, like do a trade. You do a picture of us. We do a picture of you. So the picture that I'm in, my friend is taking a picture of the three guys. You can't see my friend, but you can see my back.
Yes.
So
okay,
I have made it to the official Celtics Twitter page. I'm wearing my white KG jersey, which is
amazing.
Oh, come on, Sam, you got it right there.
Classic.
I have the shirt. They gave these to everybody.
Shirt.
I bought a hat, which is actually really cool. I'll grab it. I didn't really want to.
Yeah.
1 second.
Yeah. Sam's grabbing the hat for those listening at home. And watch on YouTube for this exclusive content. I'll tell you.
Yeah, that. No. For those of you that are just listening, the shirt is white. It has a outline of the 5.
Very cool shirt.
A silhouette of KG, and then I have this hat, which is also white with the green 5. It has KG's signature on the front, and on the left side of it, it says Garnett retirement, March 13th, 2022. It is so cool. My friend Tyler had got one Friday. He was lucky to go to both games.
Wow.
And I just missed my throw. I'll fix that later. But
very cool.
Very good time at the beginning. I go buy the hat. We go to our seats. I had to stand at the gates for a while, but that's kind of part of it.
Normal.
And get to the seats. Very fortunate. Nobody sat to my right the entire game. And being a tall gentleman, I did not have to deal with
huge
cramped legs. Yes.
Wow.
It was very clutch. Got to enjoy that. Good fans at the game yesterday. I mean, as you'd probably expect, people that are going, they're shelling out money, so they obviously care. But yeah, these dudes in front of us were pretty funny. Shout out to them. They were talking to my boy the whole time. I mean, I don't like to talk when I'm watching games. I don't know how you are, Jack. Like I don't like going to restaurants to watch a game. Like I don't do that. I like to watch. I usually either go or I watch at home, or I'll go to a friend's house once in a while.
Yeah, that's what I do. I either watch by myself. I watch with my girlfriend Zoe. I've talked about it, or with my dad. Like, and that's it. Other than
It's
that,
elite
I'll chill and
company.
watch finals.
If I'm
Yeah.
watching a game with you, it's very sacred ground.
I want to be
Anyways,
focused. I want to watch.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we get to the seat. It's really cool. Like everybody's all excited. Paul Pierce comes out. Everybody gives him a standing ovation. Perk shows up. Ray Allen shows up. People clap for Ray Allen.
The 08 team.
Yeah. What did you say? Oh, the 08 team. Yes.
The 08 team. Yeah.
And then, so KG did not come out until the game started.
Mm-hmm.
Like they already did all the pregame stuff, but the pregame stuff actually ruled. They did the hype video for the introductions, which is actually not bad this year. It's pretty good. They have like legends throughout it, and it ended with the KG scream, which was a must for me. I love the KG scream. I think they should use it every year. It's like evergreen. Like I honestly like there is no reason you should not use that every single season. Like it does not get old. Like it is classic. When that came on the screen, like I wanted to like scream at somebody, and I'm not like aggressive. Like I'm like that's me usually, but I was like pumped. I was so pumped. My friend was pumped. Everybody around us was pumped. It was a great opening to the game. Then KG comes out. Obviously, everybody claps for him. They put him on the screen. That's great. The game was a good game. The second quarter is great. So I'm sitting in the corner so we're looking at the court where it looks the way it does on TV.
Were you behind the bench?
No.
Okay, opposite side.
It looks the way it does on TV.
That's the good side.
The leprechaun is not upside down for me. So anyways, Brown comes down and dunks on Maxi Kleber.
Of course.
And it is on our side. So KG, we see like him dap up Jaylen Brown. That was fantastic.
Yeah. I can imagine,
Like KG's just like, he's crazy. Like I said, he makes you want to like yell at somebody. Like I went to work today. Like I want to yell at people. And like first of all, I work at like 4 a.m. Imagine I go and start yelling at people.
You were awake. I remember.
Yeah. By the way, the first thing I did today was text Jack. Like I literally opened my eyes at 3:20 a.m. Jack's retweeting. I'm like, dude, go to bed.
It's a good tweet. I had to retweet.
No, I don't doubt it. I'm like, dude, why is this kid still awake? Like it's like a slap. It's like you're making fun of me that I'm getting up. Like you do it on purpose. But anyways, that happens. Great finish to the half. Now this is always one of my favorite things is when guys on the other team hit half court shots. Dinwiddie,
well, it
wasn't, who is not traditionally a great 3-point shooter, hits a long distance three at the very least.
He's shooting 47% from 3 since joining the Mavs.
Well, of course. So, but throughout his career, not traditionally a great
crazy.
3-point
shooter. No, of course. Yes.
So, anyways, he makes that 3. They go up 9 into the half. I meet Timmy G in person at halftime. It was nice to meet him. He enamored with how tall I was. I guess like when you watch these pods, like I have a lot of headspace above me here, so like I don't look like that big, but I'm 6'3". Don't you worry. I mean, Jack's tall too. We've met each other. Twin Towers, like Duncan and Robinson there. Mikhail Parrish, take your pick. So meet Timmy G. It was really nice to meet him. He was telling me some stories about, some events that had happened the day before. Go back to the seats. They're up like 13. They're hanging in there. Like Tatum makes the 3 to put them up 10. And then the wheels kind of come off. Dallas takes a 3-point lead into the fourth quarter.
Dallas got hot.
Yeah, they scored like 38 points in the third quarter. Somebody told me. When you're at the game, you don't realize that kind of thing. At least I don't. Like I don't see. First of all, the game goes by so fast when I'm there.
They scored more points in the third than they did in the first half.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous how little they scored in the first half too.
But Celtics, they slacked up on defense just a little bit, and then Luka just shredded him.
I mean, I hate that guy. I truly cannot stand Luka. He's my next guy. Like I'm so happy he doesn't play in the Eastern Conference.
Really?
He always plays so well against the Celtics, and he's like not in shape. Like,
but do you mean like hate the way you hate LeBron, or hate the way you hate Chris Middleton?
Well, he's not like a prick. I don't hate Middleton. He's not like a prick like LeBron, even though he kind of is. But like, I don't know. I think it's just more that he's out of shape, and he just plays so well against the Celtics that it's like really annoying to watch.
You hate that he's so good because he doesn't look like he should be that good.
Yeah, and it's just like he doesn't go away.
He does not.
He plays like,
and it wasn't even like
against the Celtics.
It wasn't even like Luka had a couple big shots, but it was like Dorian Finney-Smith who was killing them. Really,
yeah. He was
DFS was on fire. Yeah, They made some tough shots. Like even in the first half, like Jalen Brunson like was making some ridiculous shots. DFS was hitting threes. Most of them are open though because of Luka's gravity. We can get into the game in a little while too. I'll let you continue your story about KG Day though.
Yes, and then so the fourth quarter comes along. Fourth quarter is really great, and
Yes.
I contend. I sent this group chat. I contend. So I'd say the introduction video is my favorite just because they put the KG scream in it.
Yes,
that kills
classic.
me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like one of my favorite moments of the day is like when the ball got stuck. I tweeted it because I work at a UC station. I can clip those things. I tweeted it. The ball boy like offers him the broom, and mind you, Marcus Smart did this a couple seasons ago, and people were hyped. Like he took the thing and poked the ball free, and everybody wanted KG to do it. Like on TV, it does not do it justice. I was kind of bummed when I actually saw what the clip looked like today. You can kind of see it if you're really looking for it, but like everybody got up.
They panned it to him. We didn't see the crowd though.
Yeah, they did not show they should have did a zoom out. And they didn't. Like, shame on ESPN. They suck. But literally everybody was like getting up and like murmuring, like KG, like, and he didn't do it. And if he does that, they win the game. I'm sorry. Like, and then Rob Williams comes down and makes like a alley-oop dunk. So if that would have been unmatched. Like the building was waiting to explode yesterday. I don't really know they got the chance. The Jaylen Brown dunk was great, but it was like after like 5 minutes of like them not scoring.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It was tough. It's just like, and again, we can talk about the game more in depth, but it was just, it was right on the edge of your seat the whole game. But like you said, it was never that tipping point. The Jalen Brown
game, like obviously, it was a great game. Happy they lost, and obviously, it comes down to the wire. Dinwiddie, of course, makes the three.
I'm not as angry as most losses after that game, and maybe part of it was because KG Day was awesome, and maybe part of it is because it was a really good game. It was everything I wanted.
I just wish they wouldn't like crap themselves on days where dudes are getting their numbers retired.
Because you saw that tweet, right?
No,
the last 3 retirement days, KG, Paul Pierce, Cedric Maxwell, the Celtics have lost. They've lost all 3 games.
No good. They got to figure it out.
It's a curse. It's a curse.
I mean, at least they didn't get like stomped like they did.
You know who they can
Paul
figure
Pierce
it out for?
We'll get into this later. All right, so Dinwiddie makes a 3, and like I didn't hear the whistle for the Smart thing.
Yes,
but people were like cheering when the whistle went, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like, is it going to be in? Like, it looks kind of on from my angle, and it didn't go in." But then they call a foul, and I was like, "Oh, whatever." Now, I'll talk about this now before we get into the game because it's part of it.
I have my thoughts too. Yeah,
I do not think those type of fouls should be called. I don't think that's a foul. However,
I agree with you.
However, they called it. They called it a foul. And in the replay, and I know they explained this on the broadcast. My dad told me about it. In the replay, you can see Luka hit his hand. So I'm not saying it's not the rule. I'm not, whatever. But Tim absolutely nailed it on the head in our group chat. If it was the other way around, that call would have stood. And you can literally, if you like think about all the challenges that the Celtics had this year, they lose so many challenges that like they're right.
Yeah.
There have been challenges where you like pull your hair out. You're like, they lost that? How did they lose that? It was so certain. So literally everybody sees the replay. They're all cheering. And then it comes out, no foul. They win the tip. Then
the ESPN announcers were baffled too. Like everyone was like very confused.
I mean, it shouldn't be a foul. I'm sorry. Like,
I agree.
If you are fouling a 3-pointer, you should have to be hammered. I don't even like the under the feet thing. I think that's kind of stupid too. I understand it, but I just think it's stupid. It's like
you got to give space.
If the guy's that close to you, you kind of shouldn't be shooting. That's the way I think of it, unless like the shot clock's going out. But anyways, and then if you're in a situation where like the game's on the line, that a foul should never be called. That's not like somebody getting killed, especially on a jump shot. But they called it. And the way I see it, there was not enough evidence to overturn the call.
That's my thing. That's my thing too. Because it wasn't a foul. And Ime Udoka said it after the game. He said it wasn't a foul. And I agree with you. Like he hit his hand. That's not a foul. But you can't go to the replay after you called the foul, see contact, and then call it not a foul. That doesn't make any sense. It just makes no sense.
Again, Tim nailed it. If it was the other way around,
Luka would have gotten the call.
Free throw.
100%.
He would have got the call.
A million.
Anyways,
yes.
Then they get the ball off the tip, and then Tatum gets a pretty good look at it. It doesn't go in. But I guess they called timeout before he shoots it. We were all like, what happened? There was no.
Well, I like the timeout.
No, it was fine. I mean, the shot didn't go in, of course. Yeah. Right? If the shot goes in, you're like, well.
Even if the shot did go in, it's still a good timeout in theory. Like basketball sense, that's a good timeout.
Yeah. I mean, you have the timeout.
Exactly.
Okay, then they get the ball, but they come out the timeout. Tatum gets to the top of the key and takes a shot, which is like whatever. Like I don't really know what you expect him to do.
I thought they could have worked for, and I'm not. This
was 3 seconds.
Yeah,
and they had to shoot a 3. So like, really, what else could you have done? Much like you really got a good off the ball screen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I wasn't like irate. And Tatum
it was a good enough shot for how hot Tatum has been. I'll say that.
In the grand scheme of things, it shouldn't have got to that. They should have just like played better, and we'll get into that.
You know what they should have done? They should have shot free throws. They should have shot 3 free throws. But
yeah, anyways, we shouldn't have got to that. But
exactly, yes.
So, anyways, that ends. Everyone's kind of bummed, but then the KG thing is a lot of fun. Like, first of all, before the KG thing, I have to pee for like the last 5 minutes of regulation, like bad. Anyways,
I thought you were gonna say I have to pee right now. I'll be right back.
No. No. And regulation ends. I'm like, all right, fine. Like I can go pee. They closed the bathroom, the men's room near my section. I was in 15. So if you're buying tickets, just know this. I was in section 15. It's a first aid center now. What are people like scraping their knees at the Celtics game? So this men's room is no longer.
I know you don't for that.
The men's room is no longer. So I'm walking around every other men's room that I'm coming across. The line is like you're at Six Flags trying to get on like Superman. It's unreal for a men's room. So I'm standing there, finally pee, whatever, get back. Then the KG ceremony starts. It was a lot of fun. Always loved Gorman. Glad he got a nice hand. Loved hearing him speak. Paul Pierce was there. It was great. Love him. Ray Allen's there. People were happy about that.
Was Rondo there?
Rondo was not there, but he was on. He had like a video or whatever. Like he said something. Doc was obviously not there.
Did he say something or no?
Yeah, they had video from Doc.
Good.
They had video from the NBA and TNT guys. That was during the game. It was not the
NBA and TNT guys, like Ernie and Shaq.
Yeah, like they were congratulating him. Well, he did work at TNT for a little while, KG.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
And Shaq was his teammate. But it wasn't during the ceremony. Isaiah Thomas was there from the Pistons, not our guy. And people booed him. It was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, it is
and
funny.
Gorman was thrilled about it. Anyways, Paul Pierce talks. It was
Gorman
fine.
liked that they booed him?
Oh, yeah.
Was he smiling and laughing or something?
Yeah, he's like, he literally said, he's like, I love that you guys booed him.
Was Isaiah there? Did he hear him say
it? He was there. Like he's like close with KG. Like
that's so funny.
I think KG was at some YMCA gym or something. And Isaiah Thomas was there, and he like invited him to play. Like they have like a serious connection. Like Isaiah Thomas was the one that inducted him to the Hall of Fame.
Okay, that's cool. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Yeah, it was cool he was there. Plus, I mean, I wasn't old enough to see it, and old people.
No, like, yeah, I don't care.
Old heads that listen to like the podcast are like, yeah. I mean, I get it. There are guys I would boo like relentlessly.
Of course, clearly.
Yes. So that was good. KG talking was great. It's great that he swore. It's funny like that. Like they didn't dump it on TV. Like I was saying to my friend, like, they're definitely like on a delay. Like, don't worry. Like it's probably 30 seconds. They can bleep it, whatever. They didn't. So it was like, all right. Like I also don't get that. Like it's just a word. It's not like he's like saying a slur. It's just...
Max Letterman tweeted out, I knew y'all felt for me, but I didn't. And he was like,
I saw that. That was hilarious. He's like,
well, he was like
from the FCC.
He was. Then he replied, he's like, I honestly didn't even hear that he swore. I just thought that's what he said. Shout out Max, friend of the show. That's funny. I mean, I saw the clips and everything. So Scal was doing the interview, and he like went back and forth, et cetera.
Yeah. Of course, Scal was there. He did not mention the 2-for-1. He does love that, though. It's his favorite thing.
I don't know who likes what more. I don't know if Scal likes mentioning the 2-for-1 more, or you like mentioning that Scal likes the 2-for-1 more.
I don't know. My dad loves that too. He loves that Scal like loves that. Because like once you like catch on to it, it's like it's like you don't miss it. It's like he says it literally every end of the quarter.
Hey, the Mavs got the Celtics got a 2-for-1 at the end of the game, technically, and it didn't pan out.
Yeah, they could not score yesterday. Anyways, number goes up. It was a great time.
Yes,
But
yes.
KG is just like he literally like makes you want to like scream at people. It's so weird. They played like all these clips of like him, like when he was on a team, like the fourth quarter video, like it's time, like get loud, whatever. And it was like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Classic. I mean, it was great. I need to go back and watch the full thing. I started to, and I fell asleep last night. Sue me, it was 4:30.
Some of us were,
but yeah,
at work at that hour.
The moment of the night for me, and I saw this clip, obviously, the big three hugging midcourt. I mean, come on. I know you don't love Ray Allen. But
I have no issue with them like being friendly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they shouldn't hate each other. They shouldn't hate each other. It was good. It was nice. Everybody was happy about it.
Do you forgive Ray Allen now that Kevin Garnett is over it?
So I forgive Ray. Like, I'm not like mad at. I still think what he did is like ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Like, it's just ridiculous. But like, you can't be mad at him forever or whatever. Like, whatever, clap for him. But like, I still don't think his number should be retired. I just don't. I understand. Like, people be like, "Well, KG only played there 6 years. He played there 5." One, KG didn't leave to go play with LeBron. Two, if the best I can explain it like this, you know how like people love Isaiah Thomas?
Yes.
It's the same thing for KG. Like, he is like a Celtic. Like, he is, you know what I mean? Like, he is a great Celtic.
Like Marcus.
Like Marcus. Like Isaiah. It doesn't mean like, well, KG obviously was a tremendous player, but it doesn't mean those guys are always the best player. Like, they have like a real understanding of like what it's about, blah, blah, blah. And Ray Allen was a very dedicated player. He always worked hard, whatever. But like, there is a difference. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's levels to it. Like, KG is like overly, like, everybody loves him. And people were happy to see Ray Allen. They were happy he came back. They were happy. Everybody likes each other. Nobody wants to really see, like, I guess, like, beef. Nobody really wants that. It's a team that won. They should like each other. But I'm not so sure there's that same feeling. And people listening might disagree. I know Timmy G disagrees. He thinks that you probably disagree too. Yeah. But I just don't.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think I would just be indifferent if they did it. It wouldn't be like KG Day. Like, I don't think the tickets would be outrageously expensive like KG Day was. No big deal. Don't worry about it. Splashing the cash there to go. But
no, I think it's just like, if you're gonna retire the other two, it's kind of just disrespectful not to retire Rays. And I know they don't owe him anything. Obviously, like, they're the Celtics organization, but that big three won the championship. Let's just call a spade a spade. Like, Kevin Garnett,
they did. They
Pierce,
won a championship.
Ray Allen. Without any one of those three on the team, they wouldn't win. In my opinion, I don't think.
Did they retire Rondo's number then?
No, because I think if you take Rondo off that big three team, they would still win a championship.
No, I'm not saying like in terms of skill level. I'm talking about in terms of like what I was just talking about. Rondo and Ray Allen are on the same level, and I don't think Rondo's going to get his retired. Obviously, you've seen people wear it. I absolutely do. I'm sorry, I do.
What is it? Was it the big four? I'm just like, in the grand scheme of things, was it the big four?
I'm not saying skill. I literally just said that.
I know, but
I'm saying in terms of like being meaningful to the people that care for the team, understanding like all the like things there is into being a Celtic. I feel like those two are on the same level, and Pierce and Garnett are a level above.
I think that's ridiculous.
You can disagree, but that's how.
As much I understand what you're saying, but I think that's half of it, right? Half of it is the meaning to the team, and half of it is what you do on the basketball court, right? Like, realistically speaking, it wasn't the big four. Everyone who watches the Celtics and is a Celtics fan,
not that year, it wasn't.
Even most
there were years where it was.
I know, but most NBA fans know generally that was the big three. Rondo was a huge part of it, and again, everybody knows that. But it was the big three. It was Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen, and for all intents and purposes, that was the first big three. It wasn't formed in the way most big threes nowadays are formed.
It was formed the way they're supposed to be formed.
Exactly. But it was the first big three. Not the big four, not the big five with Perk as the side character. It was the big three, right? It just, in the grand lore of NBA history, that was the big three. And if you're retiring two of their numbers, I just think you have to retire Ray Allen. He might not have meant as much as, KG to the city, but he meant as much as the other two on the court when it mattered because they all played their individual roles. And you could say, okay, KG was the best player on the court that season. Paul Pierce was the MVP. But without Ray Allen, those two don't win a championship together, like by themselves. I'm sorry. That's just facts. So I think that's just you got to do the big three and retire all their numbers. That would, however, create an issue because you'd have to start a whole new banner, which is a whole new problem within itself.
Yeah, like I don't know if they're doing that for him. Also, well, I agree with what you're saying about winning. You cannot discount that. It's absolutely true. Here's the thing. There are a lot of people out there that don't think KG should have got that.
Yes.
And I understand that. He was not here 6 years. That's it.
Not and in the grand scheme of the Celtics, I might lean to agree with him if I didn't love Kevin Garnett. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing that puts him over. He's like, so here's the line. And he was like here, right? By his go ahead, Sam, you got it. Resume, right? Yep. His resume puts him like right on the line. And because you really love him, he's above the line. Now, Ray Allen, you might really love Ray Allen. You might, but I don't think that's as common as it is for KG. Like, Jack, yesterday, everybody was so excited about KG. Like,
I know exactly what you're saying. And I agree with you because you're saying Kate, and we're going to talk just Celtics resume here because that's what matters, right? Kevin Garnett obviously is a far superior player than Ray Allen in the grand scheme.
That doesn't matter. It's resume, what you did.
Celtics resume, their resumes are the same. They're the same, right?
They are slightly different.
Similar. KG won DPOY in Boston, didn't he?
He won Defensive Player of the Year. He was here for 6 years instead of 5, and he didn't go play with LeBron.
So KG's is very, very slightly over Allen, and don't include the LeBron thing. That's and this will be
why that's part of it. That's how he left.
Let me talk. Let me talk. It's part of my argument. Their Celtics resume is very similar. KG's is slightly above. Sure, KG because fans love him is above, and Ray Allen is below because fans don't like him. Fans don't matter when you're retiring numbers. I'm sorry, that's just they just don't.
They do matter.
It is no. The team matters. What the team thinks, and I don't know who makes these decisions. It's ownership and it's Danny Ainge. And hey, if they say, okay, we don't like Ray Allen as much internally, because they can never say that. They would never come out and say we don't like Ray Allen because he won them a championship. Internally, if they're like, all right, Ray left us, like if there's animosity there, they're not going to retire his number. Right. And that's fine. Whatever. I personally, I don't care. Like if they don't retire his number, I'm not going to complain. It's whatever. But from their perspective, he won them a championship, right? That's what it is.
Part of it, yes.
They don't think like fans do in the grand scheme of things, for the most part. Like they're not.
I think they do.
I mean, I disagree, and especially after KG said, "Ray, you're next." I mean,
that's true. He did say that.
I just think that's gonna happen. And
I just disagree. I just think it was like. I mean, you finish.
No, I was gonna go off topic. I'll let you go first.
Okay. I just feel like they're both like on the line. You know, KG was already, and I've already said it, but like there was already like controversy over they should do it for KG. And like, I don't know, there's just not the same connection there that puts it over the line for me. That's me. I don't own the team, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. And maybe that's how the ownership feels. But if I had to guess, I think they retire his number. I think they do, especially after KG and Paul Pierce made that statement yesterday. I think that's what's going to put it over the edge. At that point, though, in a few years, we're going to see, Celtics wearing number 52, 61, 74, something ridiculous. But
I think they might have to unretire numbers, but leave them up there with the name or something like that.
I think they might end up doing something like, how players will sometimes contact old players like, hey, can I wear your number? I feel like that will happen a lot. In Boston, you get these really special players. You're telling me if Jason Tatum, a couple years in after he established himself, called up, someone said, "Hey, I really respect your game. I'd love to wear this number." They're gonna say yes for the most part. Most people are gonna say yes. So I think that's gonna happen. But what I was gonna tangent off into, I don't know if that's how you use that word. Talking about fans, segue, yeah. Dude, and this is the common, as much as you talk about how Scalabrine loves a 2-for-1, I talk about how Celtics fans suck, dude. Can't stand it. Social media,
what happened to you
just Twitter, Jack? Twitter Celtics fan. Nothing. There's people on online just bitching and moaning. That was a good game. The Mavericks earned the win, and someone's saying it was a good game. Mavericks earned the win. So I tweet out. You see everything I tweet out after the games. I try to be positive, but not in the sense that I'm this sucks. These guys screwed. Celtics should have won, blah, blah, blah. I try to be positive, realistic, reasonable. I tweeted, the overturned call was rough, but Mavs just outworked the Celtics late. Great win for them. Unfortunate loss for the C's. Not the end of the world, though. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was thinking. And I feel like that's fair. The Mavericks outworked the Celtics. They played better offense. The Celtics couldn't make shots. It is what it is. And someone replies, overworked. The Mavs need 2 desperation 3-point shots and some terrible refs to pull that one out. And so I was like, okay, let me respond. And I responded and I said, outworked, because correction, like I said, outworked. And the Mavs turned up in the third, and Luka orchestrated a great offense. Plus, they played incredible defense. The call was whack, but they grinded out the win. Again, that's what happened. And he goes, Celtics had opportunities. They couldn't hit shots, but they also got worked by the refs. Mavs didn't earn that win. The fact those refs went in slow-mo instant replay is a total joke. I'm like, fans are never happy. They only wanted to complain. And I think Adam put something out about it too. Literally, all Celtics fans want ever is to complain after every loss. If the Celtics went 70-12 on a season, those fucking however many fans
you bet your ass
would hate their lives.
I'll be right there with them.
No, you won't.
No, I'm not.
No, you won't.
I was pissed yesterday when they lost. I'll tell you right now, I was pissed. And it's not, I disagree with the people that were tweeting like you just said.
You can be angry at a loss, but that doesn't mean you can discredit the other teams every time the Celtics lose or complain for the sake of complaining. It's ridiculous.
Blaming the refs is lame. I know, like, Jack and I talked about the review for like 5 minutes earlier today.
I think it was a whack review, but
I literally said, I was like, it shouldn't have came to that. You were up 13 points. Like, you were playing well. The building was rocking. Like, figure it out. The offense sucked in the second half. They couldn't buy a basket. Tatum had 17 whatever points in the first half. He couldn't get anything going. They were double teaming him, and nobody was stepping up to help him out. Derek White was not good yesterday. Does that mean he's a bad player overall? No, he just didn't have a good game. Payne Pritchard missed some big threes yesterday. Doesn't mean he's not helpful when he's in the game. Jaylen Brown missed some big shots yesterday. Like, you can point, except for Al Horford, you can't point at him. He was great. Rob, they weren't able to get him involved. Like, Dallas did a lot of things to make it difficult for the Celtics yesterday. Yeah, they're going to lose once in a while. It sucks. Yeah, they're in a tight race. It sucks when they lose.
Losses suck.
They hurt. Chicago beat Cleveland. Now you lost ground on them. Like Philly won yesterday. Like, you're losing ground on teams because you lose a game that's tight. It stings, yeah. And you have to go play Golden State Wednesday. Isn't that great? But to say it's because of the refs is kind of ridiculous. Now, I will say, the refs were not calling much until the Celtics got texts. Took a couple texts to open the eyes there. But regardless, still, like, figure it out. You can't change the refs. You can change how you play the game.
And I'm not done ranting, by the way. I've got plenty more. I've got plenty more to share with you, you good people of the podcast. I appreciate
I will see if I agree with what you're saying.
So our good friend Adam Taylor, the godfather of From the Rafters podcast, tweeted, tough loss. Dallas's defense was solid. Good offensive game plan too. Can't be too mad at the result. Right? In the grand scheme of things, like, you're going to not win every game. It's fine. Whatever. It sucks that they lost because of the way they lost. Whatever. Someone tweeted back at him, Luka is better than Tatum. It's not hard to understand. Right? And, maybe Luka's probably a better player.
Probably is.
Like, right now, sure.
Tatum's in shape, though, so he might last longer.
That's just a ridiculous thing. And Adam tweeted, come on, man, do better. Sure. And he goes, okay, I'll do more. Dallas actually understands the value of shooting. The Celtics traded their best shooter along with a former lottery pick, generous, and swap rights in 2027 and a first for a guy shooting under 30%. The shooting is a problem. Dude, are you watching? And I went through this guy's Twitter. I'm going to read you some of his recent tweets. I'm going to read you. Ready? These are his recent tweets. He tweeted his Pirtle score, which is a great game, by the way. Pirtle's
I've had enough of that. I don't care if you
don't tweet
the puzzle today.
Don't tweet it.
I don't care.
I agree with you.
I don't care. Stop telling me. I don't care.
I play, but you don't see me tweeting it. You don't see me tweeting.
You can play it. I don't want to know.
Great game. Hey, just
don't involve me.
Don't Twitter though. Yeah. Let's see other tweets. He tweeted a video of Marcus Smart overpassing Robert Williams on a run out. He tweeted really nice of Austin Ainge to talk about Danny Ainge being a good GM. He tweeted a box score of Kyrie outscoring Kemba. He posted Hayward's 2019 stat line. Thank you, Chris Mannix, for being the only person to acknowledge that Marcus Smart is atrocious. He's just like
Oh,
the worst kind of
no,
human.
no, no.
He's the worst.
That is like the test. Like if you think Marcus Smart is bad, like you're done. You're done.
It's crazy to me.
I do not value your opinion on the Celtics if you think he's not important to the team. You might not think, you don't have to think he's the best player on the planet because he's not. Is he the best player on the team? No. Doesn't mean he's not important to the team. It doesn't mean he's not a net positive. It doesn't, I mean, shit, they should have named him captain at the beginning of the season, and that fell through the cracks. Like nobody cared about it for some reason, which is, I mean, it was an eye opener. I guess they care now. They all care, but it's fine. But I mean, he is super important to the team. And hate to break it to you, champ, Jesus, if they win a title, he's going to get his number retired. If they win a title, he's going to get his number retired. Well, Sam, another one. Ray Allen should get his number retired. It doesn't matter. It's the connection thing.
I know what you're saying. Another one. I tweeted Grant Williams is doing a phenomenal job guarding Luka Doncic right now, because in the first half he was doing a really good job guarding Luka in the first half. And someone goes, "Now if you could just stop blowing fast breaks, bricking threes, and throwing the ball."
That was fire. He thought he was Ray Allen yesterday. He pulled up in front of Ray Allen on the fast break. He had a rough game. Missed the three.
He had a rough game.
Grant has had a rough shooting stretch lately.
He has. He's in a stretch, but yeah, like you said, it happens. Like people just love finding things and picking on. Like,
do you have a good day every time you go into work? People like, no, I screw around. I mean, no, I always work hard at work. Why would I ever say that? But there are days where you go into work and you're just like, whatever, who cares? Like,
and you don't have to be.
That's their job, man.
And if you don't have to be positive on Twitter. Hell, you don't even have to, like, the old saying, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. That you don't even have to follow that. Just don't be an idiot. Just stop being complaining
accurate for the sake criticisms.
Exactly. Like
you know what really pissed me off yesterday is watching them double team Luka every time up the floor, and the same thing happening to them. Dallas getting easy shots.
It happened on the Dinwiddie shot.
Yeah, that's how they got a wide open look. I mean, Dorian Finney-Smith got wide open looks. They would double team Luka. He would hit the big man at the free throw line, and then they would figure it out. Somebody would cut. Somebody else would get open.
And hey, credit them. Their ball movement was great, but Celtics didn't adjust.
They handled it great. The problem is the Celtics just stuck to that. And if they don't do that, the other problem is Luka's just running screens till he gets who he wants. He was getting robbed, and then he would dribble the top of the key and shoot a three and make it.
And then another one, I had what I thought was a fire tweet, and I was upset, excuse me, that it didn't blow up as much as it did. Probably because I'm pretty sure I tweeted at like 3 a.m. So not a lot of people got their eyes on it. But yeah, I tweeted it at 1:29 a.m. That wasn't even that bad. Come on, 1:29.
No, that's respectable. But on a Sunday,
so I'm sure you're, excuse me.
What is that, like noon for you?
No, this wasn't Sunday. This was 2 days ago. So this was weekend.
Okay.
Weekend.
Okay.
So that's fine.
There you go.
And that's more like 5 p.m. for me.
5 p.m. All right.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm sure you saw about the Russell Westbrook stuff, about him saying, don't call me names. It's or disrespect my name. Blah, blah, blah. Westbrook complaining about Westbrook.
Yeah, we talked about this. It's stupid. Shut up.
Whatever. Yeah, I agree with you for the
don't bring your family into it or whatever. Or call you slurs, but if they want to call you Westbrook, buddy, make some shots. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Anyways, LeBron said after a win, which by the way, crazy that LeBron has to score 50 for the Lakers to win nowadays, because that's literally what it is. LeBron said he wanted to give Lakers fans something to cheer about when asked about the crowd energy. The Laker faithful know if bad basketball is being played, and they know if good basketball is being played. They have the right to respond any way they want.
Which is true. Well, I don't know if they know everything. I think the Lakers have a trash fan base, to be honest with you. They have a lot of transplants.
Yes,
but they absolutely have the right to react how they want to react. If you're losing,
kind of crazy for him to just blatantly subtweet his teammate, right? Like that's just rude. Like come on, like don't be a dick. Like
I don't even make that connection. I mean, I do now. Now that you explain it, I'm like, I get it. Like, okay, he's responding to him complaining about being called names. But like, I just see that as, all right, if they're gonna boo, like they're gonna boo, like they boo at the Garden all the time if they don't play well. Like, cry about it.
My tweet was tired subtweeting teammates and creating a toxic
culture. Saw that. I actually did see this tweet. I don't know why I didn't like it. I'm a clown.
Wired calling out teammates so you can progress and fix the issue together. I thought that was a banger tweet. I was very proud of my tweet. It didn't do as well as I'd hoped, but and then I had a bunch of Lakers fans, tweeting me back a picture of my profile picture, like being weird. Someone, that Twitter insult where they just send you a picture of your face.
Yeah.
just grow up. Someone, a Lakers fan, tweeted me that. What did I say to him? I responded to him. I said, if trying to, one sec, let's see. Oh, if attempting to make fun of others on the internet is your coping method, then I support you. Just, just roasting him online. And then he just sent me another picture of my face. And I was just like, all right, whatever. This guy's got no legs to stand on. He's just a loser. Twitter is the worst. You notice I don't tweet a ton during.
Did he have like an edit of a player as his picture?
No, it was him and his girlfriend. But so it's like it's whatever.
Hot.
This is not a path.
Here, no, send it to me and I'll make the judgment.
I'm not. No, we're not talking about this. No, it's just Twitter's a cesspool, and I do it for the purpose of interacting with the people. And there's some amazing people on Twitter, man. Like there's some really good people on Twitter. Like I had a conversation with Mavs Magic Draft. I don't know. He's a Hornets. I came through Hornets Twitter that I met, but he's a cool dude. He's a credentialed NBA draft guy. Obviously Andrew Doxey we met on Twitter a lot. Most of the people we've had on this podcast, some amazing people on Twitter, but the vast majority of the public on Twitter, why? Just stop tweeting.
Well, I made the Celtics test way back when because of that. I mean, there are a lot of people that should not be able to express their opinion on basketball because they don't know what they're talking about, and they spread. Wow, this sounds. Geez, I really sound like I'm woke. They spread false information. In bad opinions.
It's not even that. They just complain for the sake of complaining, man. And I tweeted this earlier and it got a lot of likes. It was like, if the Celtics have a 60-win season, that means they also lose 22 games. And that means most Celtics fans are going to be miserable for 25% of their year. And that's not a way to live your life. You're like, dude, why?
Oh, yeah, it is. That's the full ride, baby. That's how you got to do it.
It's crazy to me, man. And when they get blown out and the Celtics are playing like they were at the start of the season, sure, complain.
Oh, yeah.
Because that sucked, right? Because that was awful. But the Celtics are a really good basketball team right now. And you know who they lost to? Another really good basketball team. The Celtics and the Mavericks are the top two teams in the league in 2022. 1 and 2. Celtics are 1, Mavericks were 2. And the Mavericks won by 3 points in a game that, maybe you could argue there was some questionable officiating, but that's
in a game that the Celtics played poorly.
The Celtics played poorly in the second half, which they usually haven't been doing.
They played poorly the whole game.
Well, the first half,
maybe the second quarter you can like isolate the second quarter and say that was pretty good. First quarter was trash. They should have been up way more.
They played good defense. Offensively, they were trash the whole game. I'll give you that. They played good defense in the first half, but then when in the third quarter, when their defense and fourth, when they slacked off, that's why they lost. And that's the formula they've been following all season. It's just that their defense hasn't slacked off usually. And so when it does, against, let me remind you, probably the best offensive player in the NBA. Probably one of the top.
No. He's top. He's top.
He's top tier. I'm just talking like
he's no KD.
You didn't fall to the Pacers. I'm like, this isn't a Pacers or Pistons loss. You lost to a top 5 player in the NBA, right? And there's still people just saying Celtics suck. See, I knew it. Like blah blah blah. Celtics are terrible. Like that's the worst one for me. Like haha. See, I told you so. It's crazy. It's
Marcus
crazy.
Smart misses a shot. See, I told you he was bad.
It's wild.
It's literally the same thing.
On the flip side, like the people who defend Marcus Smart, who I like respect, like I agree. You can't just say like you can't just say like see him, make a ton of threes at once and say, see, he's a good shooter now.
Oh, I do that all the time. But
I know you do.
Like a joke.
But
I'm like,
you're also realistic. You do it jokingly. Like this stretch of good Marcus shooting is not going to last. But at the same time, you have to take into account the whole body of work. So one Grant slump doesn't mean he's automatically back to Ben Simmons Grant, right? Like it's just there's no level-headedness on Celtics Twitter. And I've known this, like this isn't my revelation. Like it's just frustrating. And I'm not a fan of that part of Twitter. So I will continue to do it and I will continue to point it out. And I won't use names or anything or send you pictures of who it is. We'll talk about that off the air.
Listen, you mean, sometimes you're just curious. You want to know. You want to know if he's doing well for himself or not. I mean, if he's not, then you just zoom in on her and call it a day.
Jeez, no. See, then I'm just as bad as them. No. Anyways,
no, that's how you ratio them, as the kids say, Jack.
Yeah, ratioing is the worst thing on the internet. It's the worst. In other news, the NBA just fined the Brooklyn Nets $50,000 for violating local laws. They literally
give them the hammer. And I'm sure, they will miss that 50 grand. They might be looking to liquidate the team at this point.
I think they might file for bankruptcy, man.
Yes.
It's going to be tough. Very tough. I was going to say, did you tweet out the thing that the mayor of New York City said the other day?
I sent it to you guys.
So good.
I
so
thought it was
fire.
fantastic. And it's like facts. It's like, dude, like, what are you complaining about? Like, you're doing it to yourself. Like, yeah,
he
there's
could
like
play tomorrow. Yeah.
It's not like they're like, hey, if you have like dark hair, you can't play. No.
Yeah.
And even then you could change it.
Do you know what he's saying? He's saying if you care about the general public safety and well-being, you can play basketball. And Kyrie's like, nah, I'm okay. Like, just bro, like, come on. And again, like, obviously, I think this is not going to turn into a political podcast. I think everybody should get vaccinated. At the same time, like, I'm not going to rain down the hammer and call you a terrible human for your right to choose
just
whatever.
Kyrie.
But I think it's irresponsible not to get vaccinated, and that's my opinion. I'm not going to slander you for yours, but to say that, you know, New York is targeting him, no, New York is targeting all people who aren't following their mandates. You just happen to be under that category. Like, dude,
it's
like,
actually hilarious.
It's hilarious.
It's the greatest. Like, I honestly hope, like, what's his name? The mayor there. He rules with the iron fist and literally just says, "Hey, you're not going to play."
Mm-hmm.
Because it's you want to prove a point, do it to prove a point. Keep proving a point. See how much everyone loves that. I mean, what is he fighting for? I truly don't get it. I don't even really care that much about. I mean, at the beginning, I was like enamored that there was a vaccine. I was like, oh, it's the greatest. Like, everyone's gonna get vaccinated. We're gonna be able to.
I was hyped.
I literally, as saying this is horrible. You should care about people's well-being. I was like, oh, like we're gonna get to go to Celtics games again. That's literally what I thought. Oh, you should care about whatever. I mean, I don't want anybody to die, but yeah, I really like living normal. That's really what it's all about.
Yes.
To me.
Anyways, like I said,
normal is not having people die all the time.
Of course. And like I said, we're not going to get into politics. I just think it's crazy how this whole thing has gone down. The mayor made a great point. He said, like, hey, yeah, Kyrie can play tomorrow.
He's doing it to himself. He's doing it to himself. I mean, exactly. if it's that big of a deal, I mean, you got to ask yourself if the Nets go through the East and they go to the finals, I would bet that he gets a shot if they go to the finals.
Do you think so?
I would, if it's still the same rules. If I'm the mayor, I'm not backing down either.
Of course, yeah.
At this point,
it's not even like
you got to do it out of spite. At this point, like, yeah, like there's other people, but really, it's you against him. I'm sorry, it is. Like he's like come out. He's challenged whatever laws you put into place, whatever reason you've put them into place,
on a very
he doesn't want to do it.
Platform, yes,
right. And I mean, you can't bend for him.
Mm-hmm.
So you say Kyrie? Yeah, I do. He's a prick.
Yes, that is correct. Like, you got it right.
Yeah, but like it's hilarious. Like if I'm, and this is like kind of like the way like people think too. Like, oh, I'm not backing down. I'm not backing down. You can get the shot. You want to play? Get the shot. Yeah. And if he was on the Celtics, I would say the same thing. I would say, what are you doing? Get the shot.
Of course.
I mean, if you don't play basketball and you don't want to get the shot, and no one's telling you can't go to work, then I mean, you do what you want. I mean, I don't know. You're not getting punished for it. Who cares? Just be safe around people or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's kind of hilarious that he's just like dragging him through the coals, and like people keep asking about it. He's like, if I'm the mayor and people keep asking me, but I'm probably getting pissed too. I'm like, he's one guy. But at the same time, like you're definitely like having like a spite war with him too. Like you're like,
I still think it's funny that at the first sign of struggles, and that's where like, yeah, we'll take him as a halftime player. Actually,
yeah, L by the Nets. That was like you okay. If you're the mayor, you look at the Nets and you see what they did, and you're like, okay, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's enough.
I mean, people on Twitter were pissed. They were, the people on Twitter. I was pissed. We just spent 10 minutes ripping on.
I was pissed because they just did it because, oh wait, we can't actually win without Kyrie. Yeah,
we're like, oh boy, like we're actually
abandon all morals because we're losing. Like, come, bro, it's gross. Oh, man. It's gross. Anyways, that's all I had for today. Tough loss. Shout out KG and retirement day. That was elite. I know you were there, and I know it was a great time. Oh, yeah. But anything else you want to say or talk about quick before we get out of here?
No, I mean, tough West Coast trip. I mean, they got to go play the Warriors on Wednesday. I hope they at least play well.
The Draymond Green is back. Warriors.
Good. So. I don't really like playing teams that aren't at full strength. I mean, if you beat them, you didn't have Draymond, whatever. I mean, cool. But plus the Celtics against the Warriors usually a good game anyways. Mm-hmm. Brad's not the coach anymore, so maybe that'll change things. But under Brad, it was always a fun time when they play the Warriors. So I hope it's a good game. I will be up late after getting up early. I will be napping in between, but Yes, very excited, and then they should take care of business against the Kings. Bombs.
Against the Kings, yeah. The Kings now have a worse record than the Pacers since the deadline. How's that for you?
I mean, who could have told you that? Truly. I mean, Sabonis, change your franchise. Give you the farm for him.
But yeah, anyways, thank you guys as usual so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Check us all out on Twitter, etc., as Sam will say in a second. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and I'll throw it to Sam.
Yeah, guys, thank you very much for listening or watching. I hope us talking about vaccines didn't trigger you or whatever. Just know, I mean, you listen to our
not
podcast,
a political podcast.
You do what you want. I mean,
we'll share our opinions. It's not a political podcast, but yes.
But yes, thank you very much for listening or watching.
Jesus.
If you're watching on Bannertown, you can subscribe. We had one of our pods talking about Sabonis, Mr. Change Your Franchise himself, have quite a few views. So it's a very nice little.
We appreciate it.
What is it? I mean, I'm not good with words today, man.
Forgetting a word.
Yeah, what's the word? Validation. Nice little validation for us, right?
Yes.
Nice validation. And then you can also catch us on Guy Boston Sports. If you're watching there, make sure you subscribe. You can get us pre-game. There'll be some assortment of Jack, me, KJ, and Tim. Always a good time there. Chat's always a lot of fun. A lot of loyal people in there. Appreciate them too. You can follow us on Spotify or Apple. And, get the podcast there. If Jack happens to not tweet them because he is very busy, which is absolutely fine. You will get it. You can follow Jack at Jack's1NBA if you want to see the tweets. I'll quote tweet him at Sam the France NBA. That's our shit.
Taco, come on. Taco's having some fun here. That is bogus. These guys are ridiculous.